Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Tony Wright's Crypto Tuition. So for now, just going to look at something that is incredibly powerful, incredibly underrated, rarely spoken about, and something that you need to know in order to just make money passively, practically, hardly doing anything, no leverage, just a little bit of investment and you can make a fortune. And I'm going to prove it to you. And all it is something called the SMA, standing for simple moving average. Now, I don't know how much you know about TradingView, so I'll assume that you don't know anything and go from there. So apologies for those that know a lot, but I am going to go into a bit of detail, so stick around to the end and smash the like button. Right, here we go. So what you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to type in there moving average, MOVING, and you'll see that I've got a little star next to mine. I've starred it so that it appears upon the favorites as moving average. Now once you do that, it defaults to 9 close, so we need to change that. So if we go into there and then go to inputs and change the 9 to 21, or let's just go for 20 for there's a reason I'm saying 20, I'll show you later. Doesn't really matter whether you go for the 20 or the 21. It doesn't really matter if you go for the exponential moving average or the simple moving average. It doesn't really matter too much over the grand scheme of things that I'm about to show you. Yeah, can you hear me okay? Am I okay? There was an old woman who swallowed a bird. How absurd, she swallowed a bird. Perhaps she'll die. Okay, so right, I'm going back now to sort of like, let's just go for this long patch here. So we're talking about October 2015 all the way through to October 16. Not a lot of price action there. Well, at least not a lot compared to the massive mountain that happened. And let's zoom into that mountain. Now we've got, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do just to make things a little bit easier, is I'm going to change the color of that I'm going to change it to red so that it really stands out. I'm going to change the transparency to that line. Okay, defaults, inputs, it's 20 on the close of the candle, so that's all okay. Alright, so I'm sorry about that slow start there, but now we can crack on and start talking about what it was that I wanted to talk to you about. So let's say back in 2017, which is when I first heard about Bitcoin, let's say you put £1,000 worth and you think, okay, well, I can afford to lose £1,000. It's a lot of money, but it's something that, you know, everyone's talking about at the moment. I'm going to get in on the bandwagon. I'm going to get in early, and I'm going to earn some money on this crypto wild roller coaster, on this dark web, this really bad, naughty thing, which is all a load of junk, because it's not. This is what you do. You stick £1,000 in, let's say around about the 5th of April, right? You put £1,000 in, and the reason why you put £1,000 in here is because the price is above the red line. So you buy £1,000 there, and you don't take it out and put it back into pound or a stable coin until it gets below the this line, and this line is the 20 simple average. When I say 20 simple average, it literally means 20 candles. So all those red and green candles, if you don't know that by now, they are the period of time that it's that's written up here. At the minute, there are 1 day. So that's the 20 day. If I go to week, it will be the 20 week moving average. Okay, we're going to the day. So let's just move this back down here. Where did we say we're going to go to? Oh, I'm lost now. Okay, so we're gonna go in at let's get the ruler. We're going in here because we've gone above and we go up and we don't sell out until there. We've made ourselves 124%. So our £1,000 is now 2,024%. I'm no mathematician. I can't even remember what I got in GCSE. It was probably a C or a D or something. Right, so we've got 100. So now we've got 2,000, 2,500. Okay. And then we don't put our 2.5 grand in until we go back above the SMA again. So now we go above the SMA, and now we go all the way up, and we don't come out until it comes back out again. Now we've made another 80%. So our £2,500 is now nearly £3,200. But we don't put it back in until it goes back above this line. It goes back above the line here again, and then we don't come out. See here, it didn't actually close above the line, so we stayed in. Now I need to move the whole thing. We stayed in, and we don't come out until it comes back below, which is 316%. So now your 3 grand is now 36999 plus your 3 that you had is 12,000. So you got 12,000 quid. And then on the way down, all right, it wasn't the greatest of moves, but it did cross over here. Your 3.5 grand you put in and you didn't take out until there. You've just made yourself 17%. So 3.5 grand. So you've just made yourself 170, 32, 47, 48, 49. So 500 quid on top of that. 500 quid on top of that. So I'm even lost on top of how much we've done there. And then you take it out, and then you put it back in. Just here. You guys do the maths for me, yeah? So that I don't have to. You've just made yourself another 33%. And then you don't put any more in until it goes above the line again. And then you put it in. And then you put it in there, you take it out there, you've made yourself another 20%. And then you leave it. This is a no trade zone. You're in the middle. It's like it's in the middle of the line. So you don't trade it. You just leave it there. You don't touch it. You just leave it there. It goes down. You haven't made a loss on this. Lots of people would have stayed in and maybe got panicked and then lost 50% of their money. Maybe they've lost like 80-90% of their money if they bought in at 20 grand. But you haven't lost anything because you've stayed in. But now we're above the line. So let's zoom in and see when did we go above the line. We went above the line here. So let's get our chart in and let's just measure the distance there. So what have we got? I think we've got something like 4.5 grand now, haven't we? So then we go all the way up. We go all the way. Okay. We still can't reach this. We go all the way up to the top of here, and now we've made another 200%. And how much have we got now? 6 grand. Oh, I'm lost. We've got a 20 grand now, 30 grand or something from a £1,000 investment, and we've had no risk because all we've done is just followed. We've just gone in and out every time that we go above and below this moving average. It's fantastic. It's like it's foolproof. In my history, it's foolproof. But the problem is you just got to keep on it. You just got to make sure that you stay on it because okay, you weren't in it then because you would have come out of it there. But let's say that the top of this red wick was in here and it came down here. Then essentially you could have turned around and gone, oh dear, oh that's really really bad. But because the asset it belongs to you, it's not a contract for difference, or it's not a EFT or something of a gamble. The actual product belongs to you. So even if you stayed in there and you missed this line, yeah, you might not have been able to make that. You might not have been able to make that money back up on this trade here, but because it's your money, your investment, you just stay in and then you wait, and then okay, you haven't made that kind of move there, or lost that 50% move. But what you have done is you've stayed in, which means that now, as this goes all the way up until it comes out there, you've made this 50% here. So now your 30, 40, 50 grand has now gone up another 25 grand. So now you're sat on 75 grand or something. You're doing the maths for me, remember? And then you go back in here. So then you go all the way up and it doesn't stop until about there. So you make another 27%, which is like, your 75 grand's turned into 80 grand. Bear in mind you only put £1,000 in. And then it becomes a little bit choppy here, so you stay out of it, you stay out of it, and then it comes up to here. And then you put your money in, but how much you got? 75 grand now? So your 75,000's in, and what's going on here? This doesn't actually, none of those actually close below, apart from that one there. So you've just made 71% of 75 grand, which would probably put you be into 130 grand at this point. Okay, 275. Yeah, so you'd be about 120 grand. All right. So you're 120 grand, and then you put your 120 grand back in when it comes above it, and then you make a whole lot of money. So you're 120 grand, you're going up, you're 120 grand, you step out here. You've made yourself 87% of 120 grand. So you're now sat on 120, you're probably sat on about 200 grand at this point, okay? And then your 200 grand, you go in just here, and then you don't come out until about there. So yeah, you might have been able to come out there if you'd have been able to read the divergence and other things, but that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about simple moves, just run it crosses the SMA. Now you've made yourself another 44% of 220 grand. You're now sat on 300 grand or thereabouts by the time you've taken that 20-30% move, that 20-30% move, that 20-30% move, and now you're waiting. And now where we're at is we're at this point where I took my money out here because I saw that the price went up on 3 touches, but the divergent, but the strength of each one of those touches went down. The strength was up here, then it went down, then it went down. The price went up, up, up. The price is going to go down because it's running out of strength. So I cashed out into USDC. I'm staying into USDC, and I'm going to stay into USDC until when? Until this changes and we come a definite, like at least 2 candles above the above the red simple moving average. Okay, so it is that simple. You could have made yourself £200,000-300,000 quite easily. It just on this simple technique with no leverage, with no risk. All you're doing is owning the asset. Okay, let's say you made a couple of errors in there and you lost yourself 20-30% of the smaller amounts, but it's still a drop in the ocean compared to the 250-300 grand or whatever it is that you've made on the £1,000 investment that you're initially put in. All right, so that's what you do with the SMA. That's how powerful this simple moving average is, this 20-day simple moving average. Now, the reason why I chose 20 simple moving average and not 21 EMA, exponential moving average, they're ever so similar, but the reason why I chose this is to show you something else. Is that if we remove that, and I just pull these down, in fact I'll even get rid of these because they're not actually that important for what I'm trying to show you. I'll even get rid of the MACD as well, and the volume. The volume's up here, I think. Yeah, volume. Get rid of the volume. There you go. You got a blank chart now. Right. If you go back into your favourites where you got that moving average, and you type into this search something called Bollinger, B-O-L-L, you've got something called Bollinger Bands, which I've also put a star by. So if we click Bollinger Bands and put them on, and we go back all the way back to where we saw everything. So this was that massive mountain, okay, where it went all the way. You're bouncing from the top, green line, green line, green line, green line, up, down to the green line, up to that line, down to the green line. So you got these, you're bouncing off of these green lines. Now, I'm not suggesting that we trade the green lines whatsoever, but what I am saying, and this is something that's in key and important, is Mr. Bollinger, who designed this, he installed the 20-day moving average in with the Bollinger Bands. So if ever you can't find yourself going into the settings and changing it from the 9-day moving average, you're moving it over to the 20-day moving average, all you need to do is pull up Bollinger Bands, and already, without hardly any tuition, your chart is now starting to take some form. So you've got a friend who comes in and you're trading, you're doing all these trades and everything. They come in, they see your chart, and they already think that you're a whiz kid and that you know all about what you're doing and everything's amazing and how much of a genius you are. And all it is that simple, just that red line, and that's all you need to do to trade. It's what they call spot trading, which is where you buy in, then you move it out, then you go back in and you move it out. Okay, spot trading. You could have made yourself thousands, and you still can. The bull run is not over, and even in a down market like we've just had now, we've just had this down market here. Okay, I haven't looked, but I promise you that if we go down to the 4 hour, so the trend is, just to show you, the trend is definitely going down, right? If we go to the 4 hour, I promise you we'll still be able to make money using the same tactic. All right, so let's just move everything up. All right, so here, let's just get the ruler. We enter just there, and then we exit when we cross the line. You've just made yourself 5%. Even on a downtrend, you've made yourself 5%. And then okay, and then you take it out, and then you go back in here because you're now above the line, and you go up. It hasn't closed, and you come out there. You've made yourself 10%. So even now during this downtrend, you can still make money on the ups of the downtrend. You following what I'm saying? So I'm not teaching you to suck eggs. As I say, my audience is vast. I've got people that have been doing this for many years and know all of what I'm talking about. And I'm grateful if you've stuck around to watch the end of the video. But there are also some of you that are only just starting and want to know different things. So what I've just done is I've just shown you what the 20-day or the 21-day moving average, how important and how strong it is, and also how to make money from it. And I've also shown you the Bollinger Bands, very, very introductory to the Bollinger Bands because there's far more to it. But that the Bollinger Band has the 20-day simple moving average in with it. So that's everything. But I have to say, because it's my responsibility to say, that whilst everything that I've just shown you is factual, I've just shown you the history of it, I'm not a financial advisor. And if you end up putting your money on the market and losing it all, please don't come knocking at my door telling me you told me that if I do this, I'm going to make a load of money. Because you might not. It's all there for us all to be sensible and manage our own risk. My only piece of advice, and everybody says it, right? Everybody says it, but not very many people do it. And the strongest bit of advice is don't put any more money in that you can afford to lose. Don't be getting credit cards or loans thinking it's definitely going up. Elon Musk's about to buy, or Apple is, announcing that on the 27th they're going to buy, or anything like that. And you think, I'm going to earn loads of money. Don't be tempted to do it. Don't be greedy. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. And that way, when you do win and you do come out top trumps, you'll feel so good about yourself because you've done it right. You've done it according to all of the lessons that you've learned along the way, this being one of them. And you haven't gone into debt for it that you've got to then pay back later on plus interest. Okay, so that's my advice. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I hope I entertained you, because I did. I said that there was an old woman who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old woman who swallowed a spider that rickled and tickled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. What's the next? What comes after that? There was an old woman who swallowed a bird. How absurd! She swallowed a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. And I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Was an old woman who swallowed a horse. Ha! Of course she swallowed a horse. She swallowed the horse. I think there's a dog as well. As well as the horse, there's cat. Or swallowed a horse to catch the cat. There was an old woman who swallowed a cat. Fancy that, she swallowed the cat. Perhaps should I? Swallowed the cat to catch the bird. Swallowed the bird to catch the spider. Swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why I swallowed the fly. Perhaps should I? There was an old woman who swallowed a... No, is it a dog? Swallowed a dog. No. There was an old woman who swallowed a horse. How, of course, she swallowed a horse? I don't know. Perhaps she'll die. I think she's dead. Something like that. Oh, it was a long, long time ago. I'm an old man now. Okay, guys, there's your entertainment. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope you found real good quality content in this. Not many people are spending time being able to teach people. There's lots of people giving out major memes like with a picture of like YouTube Bitcoin price going up or down, and I don't need to mention any names. I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but what they don't do is turn around and come on here and give their valuable time, which I could be doing with other things, spending with family or projects that I've got. I'm doing this to help people become reliant, independent traders, and to be able to spot the wheat from the chaff, the wheat from the weeds, so that you can look at those channels and go, you know what? That's not right. What they're saying is wrong. And my goal is to try and get you to get to that stage where you can see those YouTubers and turn around and go, that's not going to happen. And the funny thing is, I can see those videos, and then the next day they turn around and say, really sorry about that trade, it didn't work out. And I can see it. And hopefully you will too. So I'm going to leave a link in the bottom, in the description, for another YouTuber who I respect and admire so much, and he's helped me for a few years now to chart and make my living being a trader, and also hopefully one day to be able to get you guys to be able to what's the word I'm looking for, support and donate, so that I can put the money back into. I've got money from other things. I can go and buy a 4K camera and all the rest of the gear, but I don't want to do it using money that I've got from other projects. I want to use it using money that I've got coming in from you guys. So yeah, that's it. So give me loads of money so that I can buy loads of equipment and then carry on teaching you. That's the goal. So give me all your money. Alright, I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming this far. Please like, please subscribe, and I promise you that I'll continue giving more content that's just as good as this, if not better. Alright, I'll say good night and sayonara. Adios.